We are in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the heart of the beast puppet and mask theater. Right now you can see there's people, it's like an open house for the public to come and kind of participate. We're trying to talk to as many people as we can to have a good feeling of what's going on here at the space for the May Day parade. What are you doing right now?
Right now we're composing a sculpture of a young boy, and my friend right here is constructing the platform it's going to be on. So this is a famous photograph in Minneapolis, a boy sitting in the grass with a beetle on his forehead, tied to a string in his hand. So it's kind of an interesting photo. I heard that's pretty popular in Minnesota, and we're going to be putting that on the top. And it's just supposed to be the simplicity of, you know, when we were kids, and when we could look at the sky and life is okay like that. So that's all I'm thinking about, and I've just been rendering a bunch of wire, and now I have my friend helping me paper mache it.
That's great.
And you're about to see this car, this Cadillac over there, out of cardboard. It's sick.
All right, so we're moving through what I assume are like different parts of this build. I don't want to touch anything, so I'm just like trying to ninja back here. We have our camera person. There's supposed to be a Cadillac back here I was supposed to check out. Oh yeah, there it is, cardboard Cadillac. Anyway, so these are a bunch of the floats. Look at this thing. This is what he was talking about, the cardboard Cadillac. Goes all the way over. Coming over here. Oh, we got some music in this booth. This is the first one that we came to that had music.
Yeah, so this section is the Black is Sacred section. We are talking about what is a reality in which white supremacy and black oppression and any kind of oppression is gone. And a lot of the stuff that came through that was kind of this like lightness of your heart, this freeness of your heart. And particularly in a sense where like a lot of, you know, young black brothers feel, and young black sisters feel like there's not a place for them, feel like there's a lot of kind of weight and resistance to their joy and happiness. So a lot of this section is kind of like this joyful radiance, this reclamation of the police departments by grandmothers, and they're making you food and they're doing yoga with you, and they're having gardens where you can spend time rather than having to go to a precinct. But yeah, so a lot of it is just like trying to feel a lightness and a freedom that speaks to limitlessness that I don't think the black reality has been allowed to experience in this society. And it's not just about Black Lives Mattering, because that's freaking obvious. Every life matters, you know, but the fact that our country still struggles with that is deep. So we were like, well, black lives are sweet, black lives are full, black lives are wild, like let's go deeper. We've been in this country hundreds and hundreds of years. We should still, you know, shouldn't be worrying about if we're mattering, you know. So that's a lot of the impetus and the inspiration with this section.
A lot of different people working on a variety of things. There's a lot of paper mache going on, but you can see there's some wires and stuff being thrown together here. I'm not exactly sure what build this is. What's this?
This is elephant in the room, and actually it's going to end up being elephants in the room.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of kind of injustices that we're not talking about in the world. I see this section as just totally sucking. And it's kind of literally today's reality in a lot of ways. Basically, this elephant has a couple of shop backs in it, and so it's going to be sucking up little red-winged blackbirds and sucking up actual cash dollars from the people on the side of the parade. And the thought is basically we put a lot of money and energy into this system, and the only thing we reap from it is basically taking away the opportunity of human beings to live their lives fully. And so this section seeks to illustrate that. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Yeah. So this large elephant in the room is going to have these major wheels, and on those wheels will be the silhouettes of people with their hands up being run over. And so every time that wheel turns around, like clockwork, somebody gets run over. And on the sides will be the silhouettes that they do when they tape bodies or chalk bodies out. Oh, terrific! Look at that! If you look closely at the elephant's eye, it's one of these fake cameras that they have up for video surveillance. Those we just found in the alley. So a lot of this thing is serendipity. But for me, I see that elephant as the embodiment of human energy, and what are we going to do with it, right? And in this case, we've turned it into a huge sucking monolith. And a fundamental aspect of that is racism, and it's kind of another unspoken elephant in our culture. So we've got these heads up here on poles. Those are the injustices, and they're kind of the embodiment of like 18th century characters, which kind of set in place that kind of manifest kind of Caucasian destiny ideology. So the deal is that those guys are the activators, and it's really like ghosts in the machine. And so they've got these huge gavels which represent like law and order, but attached to the gavels are these elephant prod canes. So those guys are going to be moving the elephant along and pulling huge bags of cash out of its ass.
Everywhere you look, there's something new and something flashing. There is things being made. It is a really good environment. Not got into the far end of this room. We only get to the edges, and then we end up speaking to somebody because there's so much going on. There's so much going on. What does it entail like working here full time, I guess?
It's fun. You know, everybody here is great, and you know, it's great. And you get to make a bunch of stuff. You get to work with a lot of nice people, and get to learn stuff like drilling.
Oh, these are the big tires they were talking about. These are going to be on the bottom of the elephant in the room. These giant tires. They're moving one of the tires on top of the other tires. It's almost there. I should probably... Hey, how's this tire about?
That is a wheel for the elephant that's going to represent the elephant in the room section of the parade.
I think it's different from my perception of community spaces I've been in, so what do you think of it?
It's pretty nice. Like, you can do individual things, but you're still in a group, you know? If that makes sense at all.
I like being in groups and meeting new people and stuff, and you know, seeing all the different kinds of people here, and I think it's really cool that we can all just be here and work together and stuff. Also, I just like doing art, so this works.
So there's some paper mache being going on. It almost looks like not concrete, but stone, you know? You can tell it's not, but it's like trying to from a distance it can pass. What are you making on this one, do you know?
This is a phoenix.
A phoenix? You're making a phoenix and you're going to wear it in the parade?
Yep. Yeah.
How long have you been working on this?
Well, people keep asking me that. I've got over 10 hours into the sculpture, and I got to stop and mache at some point.
Yeah.
But I really like playing with the clay. It's kind of why I come over here. But there's a lot to this. There's going to be a full gorilla costume, you know, whole body.
Oh, really? Everything looks great. Are you going to put paper mache over this? Or
That's right. I'm just sculpting my pattern.
Okay.
So you see behind you here, you sculpting clay, and then, you know, it shows up here the steps. You're sculpting clay, you paper mache over the top of it. When the mache is dry, you pop it off, you take the clay out.
Really cool. I can't get over how, like, basically anybody can just walk in here and work on something, right? And that's amazing. I'm not used to seeing that. There's stuff being built everywhere. There's wheels, there's masks, there's feathers, there's lanterns. There is just everything being built. And they are preparing to show us a badass parade.